Hello, Nerd Nation, and welcome to Strategic Gaming. I'm your friend in the neighborhood, Nerd King Mac Taylor, here to talk to you about Survivor 39, Island of Idols, giving my cast predictions. I had meant to live stream this, but YouTube changed its live streaming business, and I got to figure that out. I got to figure out exactly what I'm doing. That's not going to be tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead and pre-record this and try to quickly just slap it together and send it on out to you guys. So right, because I know this week the show is premiering, and I got to get to work on this. I meant to do this sooner, but I had some other things coming up I had to attend to. So I'm basically going to be doing this going from 20 to 1. The cast chances of winning, in my opinion. Keep in mind, I did pick Ovi to win Big Brother 21, and he was like the second evicted, so I am not usually accurate. The only Big Brother winners I've ever picked, and one was a fluke. The only first round draft pick I've ever had in Big Brother that's won is Ian Terry. And the only, on the flip, the only Survivor winner I've ever picked was Mike. So, not exactly the best at picking winners here. So, keep that in mind. And also, my list completely opinionated. If you have different opinions on the Survivors, then please, give them to me. Tell me what you guys think. I totally am interested in having this conversation. We'll go ahead and start out at number 20, Janet Corbin on the Vokai tribe. She's a 59-year-old lifeguard. She gives me the vibe. She wants to play a really strong game. And I think she's going to come off really aggressive and end up being like an early boot. She gives me like Deb Eaton vibes. And I really think that that if she's not careful or if her tribe is losing, they could view her as easily expendable. And that is just no bueno in the game of Survivor. So I really do predict that Janet Corbin, if not first boot, will be second, third. Definitely probably not making it very far. But if she does get drug along, she could end up that person they just want to carry around to the end and beat. She could end up like a Karen in Palau, where they just drag her because they don't, or Lydia in Guatemala, where they're like, yeah, we can beat her. We'll just take her as far as we can. Number 19, we got Missy Berg from the Laidlow tribe. She's a 24-year-old Air Force veteran. Now, I think she'll be very physical. I think she'll do quite well in challenges. But I think her personality will come off very strong. And, she may clash with people very easily. The military thing, it doesn't always work, and she could ultimately pay the Ben Drederbergen toll in being that people are like, well, we can't take her too far. She's going to beat us out in the end. And so they take her out either, like right before the merge or shortly thereafter. So I don't think Missy Berg has a great chance of winning Survivor Island of Idols. And with that, we're going to go to number 18, Tom Laidlow, which I think will be the opposite of his game. He's on the Laidlow tribe. He is 60 and a former hockey player. And really with the older people on Survivor, it goes just one of two ways. Either they get out very early or they get taken really deep in the game. But Tom really gives me like a little bit of like maybe Gary Hagaboom vibes, which I think will get him taken out early on. I think he'll try to play this, I'm all about the team and let's be physical kind of thing. And I think he'll get taken out kind of early, especially being 60 years old and being on Survivor. It's not an easy bout. So I do not see a world where he gets farther than like top 10. But if it happens, that's cool. I'm interested to see what kind of character Tom is, but I really give him slim to none chances of winning. I almost would even put him below Missy, but just for a couple of other reasons, I put Missy below him. Number 17, we're going to talk about Tommy Sheehan on the Vokai tribe, 26-year-old 4th grade teacher. He comes off like super happy and go lucky, and he wants to compete. And, this kind of character, he just may get the axe early on for not being in the main group, like Patrick, per se, from HHH. Also, he might even get like the original Rick Devens fate of he's not on the right side of the group, and he's going to be the one who gets the axe as compared to someone that they don't view as much of a threat, like a David. So I don't really foresee him going too deep into the game, especially with there being so much other strong personalities or physical people. I don't think Tommy's gonna do too well. I would love to see him do well because of the charisma he had in the end. I mean, really, I have not seen these people in person as far as like on the screen. I've only read their bios, so we'll see how the actual gameplay is. But I don't have great hopes for Tommy moving forward in the game. Number 16, we're talking about Lauren Beck. She's on the Vokai tribe, and she's a 28-year-old nanny. And my friend Natalie has picked her randomly for a survivor pool, and I'm not sorry, Natalie. It's not looking too good for Lauren. She seems like super talkative, and might come off a little bit annoying. But she wants to play the Sari or Sandra game. But the thing about Sari and Sandra is that they're not good at challenges, like, at all. But they can lay super low. Like, they're not going to get in the way. They're not going to become a problem that people need to get rid of. And they're just going to lay super, super low and let people kind of go at each other. But they will be in people's ears and talking and planting seeds and trying to, stick their places in alliances. Whereas I don't know if she'll do that latter part. She may just try to lay super low, not do anything, and still get cut. Or she'll be super annoying to people, and then they'll cut her early because they cannot stand her. So, 2 out of 3 of those scenarios, she loses pre-jury. And best case scenario, who knows how far she'll make it. If she's as good as Sari or Sandra, then, we could see the next best Survivor player of all time. But I really do not foresee that happening, and odds are she probably will be a pre-juror here in Survivor 39. Number 15, we're going to be talking about Erin Meredith from the Laidlow tribe. He's a 36-year-old gym owner. Does seem kind of Aussie-like. Really just talks about wanting to, he's physical. He's a gym owner. He's all about the muscle. But these muscular guys that come in all buffed out, they don't handle the starving factor too well. And their bodies kind of deplete. Once that muscle mass is getting a little weak for wear, he's either going to just start tanking or just not be great at strategy. Going to be someone's meat shield, and he's going to get picked off like right as the jury starts. Like first member of our jury, Aaron. Like, I really don't foresee... I don't think he'll go super early, but I don't foresee him making it that far at all. He's just going to be a big old meat shield, I think, for some of the smarter players. Number 14, we're going to be talking about Dan Spiel, the Vokai tribe, a 48-year-old talent manager. He wants to be like a social, physical combo player, but he again could end up taking out early merge. He's a fan of like Yule and Boston Rob, but he also could pay like the Chris Underwood toll for like people are gonna be like, yeah, let's take him out where Chris was originally taken out, like early, And then, that way we don't have to deal with them later in the game. Because sometimes they want to take out the big threats in early on. If you have a bunch of strategic-minded players, then Dan could end up in a bad spot early on. Number 13, going to be talking about Jamal Shipman from the Vokai tribe. He's a 33-year-old admissions counselor, and he wants to play like the strategic strong arm kind of game, like a Yul Kwan game from Survivor Cook Islands, where he wants to just, dominate, run the table, and people who come in hot like that generally don't play it well, because the thing about those games is, you have to have a lot of things kind of go your way. Like Yul had, the idol that he was able to use in a strategic way and things like that. Whereas I don't know if Jamal's going to get that lucky. And if he's coming in like a house of fire and he's not a good talker, he could end up going out pretty early, like Brandon Shapiro, is his last name Shapiro? Brandon from Ghost Island thing, where it's just like super hard going in and he's right out. Like, and that was fast. That was fun. I really do see that happening for Jamal. I do not foresee him making it far at all. And because of that, I do have him at 13, because there is a slight, and I do mean ever so slight, chance that he just runs the table and becomes a great player. But I think there are other players on this list who have a much, much higher chance of that happening. Number 12, we got Karishma Patel on the Laidlow tribe, 37, personal injury lawyer. She's a Natalie fan. So, she wants to be this very strategic force. And she also wants to be like a character, like someone we at home are like, hey, do you see what Karishma did on Survivor? But I do see one of two things happening for her. I think that she'll either, they won't view her as useful and they'll vote her out early, or she'll be that person they want to take to the final three to beat. Someone that's just an easy, not going to get any votes at the end. So either way, either of those scenarios, there's no win in sight. And because of that, I put her at number 12. Number 11 is Elizabeth Basil from the Laidlow tribe. She's a 26-year-old Olympian. And I think she is going to have like a Lolo Jones and Celebrity Big Brother 2 kind of game. She's going to come in like a house of fire, and without the right combo of people to align with, they're just going to be like, who the fuck is this woman? Like, she's great at challenges. I can just pretty much guarantee that. And so they'll probably take her to the merge. And then maybe 3 or 4 votes into the merge after they get off some of these more physical guys, they're going to be like, all right, she's doing good at immunity challenges, and she thinks she's running the game. Let's just blindside her. Let's take her out. And, that she'll have that early, 4th juror spot, I believe. Not really much of a chance, but if she does, end up on the right side of the votes, we're looking at someone who could potentially win the season. As the list goes down here, we're nearing the top 10, the top 10, the top half of this list. There is bigger chances of these people winning in my eyes. Number 10, we got Chelsea Walker from the Laidlow tribe, 26-year-old digital content creator, which is great that we see more of this on Survivor. And she wants to be the sort of scrappy, small girl, flirtatious kind of Parvati Shallows game. And she's applied a bunch of times. Her journey has been to get on Survivor. And, she's this kind of character, this fan who has tried so hard to get here, and she's going to do whatever it takes to get far in the game. That that archetype, if she ends up on the right side of the numbers, could go pretty far. I could see her going very deep into the game, but she could be seen as a threat for that, and then get taken out. Even from the final 8 all the way down to the top 4. So I really don't see her ending up in the final 3, but I think she will be a force to be reckoned with in the game. Number 9, we're going to be talking about Ronnie Barda from the Laidlow tribe, a 35-year-old poker player. but he's super confident, and that's dangerous because if he could be the guy that does get strategic control early on, but gets a little too big for the britches and just loses focus and ends up getting blindsided around the jury phase like Dan or Roger or Dina, even from Amazon. Like, these could be people who think they're in control and then are taken out because they're not watching people's interactions because they think the game is wrapped up. That's a big deal, and I really can't have that in a winner pick. So because of that, Ronnie's at number 9. I do think he will go very far. I really do think he'll at least make the jury, and we will probably be seeing a lot of him this season. Number 8 is Dean Kowalski from the Laidlow tribe, a 28-year-old tech salesman. He could be like the smart guy that lays low. Like, I see him just being non-existent for the first few episodes and then just kind of sliding his way into a potential, like, low man on the totem pole of an alliance kind of thing, and then maybe get taken out. I don't see big waves, but I do see him going very far, and who knows, he could end up turning the tables if he gets far enough. So because of that, I really do got to put him at number 8 because I feel like he's going to go very far. Got a better chance than the people behind him. Number 7, Norris Almond from the Vokai tribe, a 36-year-old entrepreneur. You know, she's like the very well-traveled, driven kind of businesswoman. And she really wants to be like a female version of Malcolm. And I think she could be. I think she'll be very tough. You know, a really, really strong competitor. Could be like Aurora, where she's really good at challenges and ends up becoming a thing where, like, we really got to get her out. She could be strategically the better decision, but because, you know, she's winning challenges, they're like, yeah, she got to go. So I could see, like, 7th place or 6th place, maybe even 5th place for her, but I don't see her making the top 4. But I think she will be a definite strong female character, and that will be a very fun addition to the cast. And number 6, we have Jack Nichting from the Vokai tribe, a 23-year-old grad student. Really gives me Joey Amazing vibes with this one. He, you know, seems like a potential comp king, but I don't think he'll have much strategy. I think he'll just be the Aussie to someone's Yule. Like, I think there's one person in particular who will take control of Jack and just, they will, if they can get on the numbers, they will run the goddamn table. And Jack will get picked off before the end of the game, and then this person, I think, will then run through the rest by himself. So I do think Jack will be a force, and if not managed properly, could end up at the end winning the game, but I don't foresee him making it that far. So because of that, he's in that solid 6th place, right outside of the top 5, baby. Leading us into the top 5, baby, is Elaine Stott of the Laidlow tribe, 41-year-old factory worker. When I first read the bios, I was really low on Elaine, and then I thought about it, and I said, you know, this could be someone who does really well in this season because she talks about wanting to be like Rupert, and part of Rupert's game is that he sticks out like a sore thumb to the audience, so they're always going to, you know, be drawn to him in this way. And he's a super kind and very physically dominant person, and I think she could potentially do that. You know, I'm a factory worker. I understand that kind of lifestyle, but she seems like the really hard-working lady. I think she'll have a good work ethic, good blue-collar work ethic. And if she is a genuinely nice person to be around, she's not going to be a physical person that people are going to look at and be like, oh, yeah, got to get Elaine out as soon as possible. And she could end up in a very good spot where she's able to just slide by, makes it far enough, and then can just win her way out to the end. It's potentially possible. And if she gets to the end, I think she has a strong case to win. So she is someone I think is really going to be someone to look out for here in Survivor 39. Number 4 is someone who I wanted to originally put a little higher, but I could not put him any higher than this. and that is Vince Maua of the Laidlow tribe, a 27-year-old admissions counselor. He's like the artsy, he's very charismatic in his interview. His parents were refugees, and he's determined to win this. He's very appreciative of his life and wants to, use this opportunity he's been given to become a soul survivor. And he is a very big fan of Sari and Natalie and players like that. And I think whereas some people can't play a Sari game to lay super low, I think Vince can, because there are so many meaty, buffy guys and strong women and big personalities that Vince, I think, can sit back and just talk to people, be like Yule, and just interact with people and work his way in their ear and really get them to spill their beans and set up his team. And then probably like midway through the merge game, just plow through to the end, and you can't argue that he was a very strong, strategic-minded player. And Vince could end up, I think, has a great chance of ending up the winner of Survivor 39. And I if it goes the way I think it goes, I will be rooting for him more than maybe even my winner pick. Number 3 is Kelly Kim, also on the Vokai tribe. 29-year-old MBA student. She talks about having a high pain tolerance. I think that is big in Survivor, where you're constantly dealing with pain and testing the limitations of your body. But she seems like a bubbly, kind of fun character. And very similar to Vince, I think she can lay super low with all these other physical, strong-minded people. And she talks about wanting to play like a Kelly Wentworth game. And that was part of Kelly's thing, of being able to really not be looked at as a threat and really being able to grasp some strategy. And I would be very excited to see her do great things on Vokai. Maybe even getting her claws on Jack and helping her run the table. Number 2 is going to be Molly Beeman of the Vokai tribe. 27-year-old law student. She's athletic, but what drew me to her is she likes tarot cards and like freaks and geeks, and she seems like this awesome character. And she wants to play like Parvati, but she says that it's obvious that people are going to pick Parvati because it's Parvati. And so she's aware of that. She seems like a big fan. She talked about Elizabeth Filarski, so she's definitely a big fan if she's talking Australia. And I think she can lay low, and then she's really definitely going to be that one at the end to look out for. If she can make like top 8, top 6, I think she can almost guarantee herself a victory. And number 1, and this is the most mixed bag thing I have, but I'm rolling the dice here and giving number 1 to Jason Linden, also the Vokai tribe, 32-year-old personal injury lawyer. He's very direct, but he wants to be all strategy. He wants to be like Sesternino and Yoquan and these kind of players. And like I said, playing a masterful game is very tedious, very tricky. But if he can do it with players like Vince and Molly, I think he can run the table. And I think that with these other big guys around and these strong personalities, he can just cut off heads, get to the merge, let these big, strong players get taken out, and then just really can put himself in a perfect position and just go right to the end and get himself a check and walk out at Survivor 39 a winner of the game. And there you have it, guys. There's my picks. My winner pick being Jason. But, there's definitely, it's going to be a great season, Survivor. Tell me in the comments, who are you rooting for? What are you thinking? Again, thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Strategic Gaming. My name is Mac Taylor. Until next time.